All right, back for another Whodunit Beer review, and today's beer comes courtesy, once again, of a very good friend of mine and fellow BeerTuber, Kyle, over at No Hype Beer Reviews. So a huge thanks to him for the beer. In the description box, I will post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Kyle sent my way, in addition to a link to his channel, because Kyle's a fantastic dude with great content, and I cannot recommend his channel enough. So go over there and give him some love. Now, if this is the first time you are stopping by for a Whodunit Beer review, you might be asking yourself, what are Whodunit Beer reviews? Well, basically they're blind/mystery beer reviews that were popularized by another good friend of mine and fellow BeerTuber, Matt, over at Massive Beer Reviews. And this is how it works. Somebody will wrap up and conceal a beer, like Kyle did with this one. They will then either send or give me said beer, and I'll review it like I do any other beer on my channel, with the lone exception being, I obviously have no idea what the beer is. So at the end of the review, I try to guess the beer's style, its ABV, and if I'm feeling confident enough, I'll try to guess the exact beer itself, although that is rare. Then I will rate the beer before revealing it to both you and myself. So what do I know about this one? Well, I know that it was sent to me by Kyle. Kyle also resides in New York State, like myself. And like I mentioned in the last Whodunit Beer review that I did from Kyle, he has an extensive beer cellar, and he reviews most of his beers in front of that beer cellar. So this could be an aged can of some sort that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years old from his cellar. Could be a fresh hazy, although it won't be that fresh, because the other thing I know about this beer is that he sent it to me at the time of this review about 4 months ago. He sent me a beer mail in late March. And yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to get to all the beers quickly because of some personal medical issues going on and whatnot. So I do know that this one is at least 4 months old, probably older than that. So if it's like a fresh hazy or something, that's going to challenge my palate. The other one he sent my way was a big adjunct barrel-aged imperial stout. So yeah, this one, I think it's going to be different, but I don't know. Sometimes Kyle just does whatever. So I'm going to give it a little bit of roll here. This has been out of the fridge for close to an hour. I tried to, typically I like to leave them out anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Usually they're around 45 minutes. But recently I've been getting a lot of big 10% beers that I'm drinking a little bit too cold. So I'm hoping that this one is appropriate. Anyway, let's crack it open, get into the glass, see what we got going on. So yeah, this one is looking a little bit more, well, I'm going to pour it like this because it was hitting the tape, and I don't want to get it everywhere, and I don't want to spoil anything. Interesting. So this pours out like a huge, gigantic. Now this pours out like I'm not going to say New England style. When it was pouring, honestly, I started getting like Saison vibes to it. Honestly, that's kind of what I was getting. And this has this like really bright yellow orange color, very vibrant in the glass. I don't know how it's going to come off on camera, but in person it's vibrant. The head was about a 2.5, 3 finger, fluffy, bright white head, very soap sudsy. It's now dissipating, but yeah, it looked interesting. Let's get a nose. First thing I'm going to say is this kind of smells like a Saison, a farmhouse ale of some sort. Yeah, there's like straw, like almost like a wet straw type of sensation. There's lemon pith, lemon peel. There's a slight funkiness in this one. It smells like it's going to be dry. It just has like a farmhouse Saison type of aroma to it. Yeah, lemon is the star of the show as far as like the citrus is concerned, but like it has like a wet straw. It doesn't have necessarily like the barnyard like funk, it just doesn't. It's weird because in my mind I'm trying to think of what this reminds me of, but this reminds me of just like a well-made Saison in the nose. Yeah, it's not like horse blankety. It's more like just like wet straw, grassy, very carbonated. It's sizzling, so to speak. Yeah, it smells like just a well-made Saison. It's not super complex, but it smells pretty good, so let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. If this is a Saison or a farmhouse, the taste is not an indication of that. All right, so in the taste, I'm getting more of like straight on sour vibes. Has a real lemony kind of tartness to it. The body is like lower side of medium to medium body. bit of heat there. It's weird. The mouthfeel, it's crisp, it's clean. Well, relatively clean. It's effervescent, very spritzy on the tongue. So I'm going to kind of change my tune here. At first, this is what, I'll be honest with you, this is what I was thinking at first. Where Kyle resides, the type of can it is, and knowing what I know, I thought this could be Ammagang's Hennepin, because that's what I was getting in the nose. I was getting like strong, lemony, farmhouse type of Saison qualities. Now in the taste, I don't think that's the case. And if that's the case, then this one has soured quite a bit. So, right at the front of the tongue, this is more just straight on lemon juice. And that kind of is omnipresent, carries on throughout the palate, underlying lemon juice. This one is on the higher side of tart, lower side of sour. It doesn't really hit sour, but it definitely has a tartness to it. There's other like orange and grapefruit, like pithy, peely sensations to it. It finishes semi-dry, a little bit of, not residual, I was gonna say residual sweetness, no. It finishes semi-dry with a little bit of acidity on the back of the palate. I will say this is not overly complex to my palate right now. A lemony tartness with a little bit of like other like citrus peels going on. It's dry. It has a little bit of acidity on the back of the palate. I really can't taste the alcohol. If this is over like 7%, I'd be surprised. I do think the body is a bit bigger. I'm going to say that this is probably in the 6 to 7 range. That would be my guess. If it's lower than that, the body's impressive. I don't think there's many adjuncts. There might be like a citrus fruit addition in this one. I'm really getting no spiciness, although if this is at least 4 months old, if there's like, you know, like coriander or anything like that, I'd be surprised. This honestly just, to me, drinks like a base sour ale. I wouldn't necessarily say Berliner Weiss. I'm not getting a salinity. There's not a Goza kind of base. I'm just going to say this is a sour ale that is brewed with some kind of citrus. I'm going to say lemon or lemon peel, 6.3%, and that's all I got. I have nothing else to really say here. Rating on this one, I hope this is like a fucking crazy, awesome, like hype beer or something, because for me, it's pretty good. It's easy to drink, but it's not mind-blowing. I'm not losing my shit over it, so I'm going to give this a high 3.75 out of 5 and go 3.85 out of 5. That's the best I can do with this one. We'll pour the rest in and then try to get into the can. Yeah, this has to be a sour of some sort. If not, if this is like Hennepin or something that's soured, or like some other kind of Saison, where do we start here? Okay, so it's not Hennepin. What is this? Two Roads, huh? Tanker truck, Clementine Goza. Okay. I said 6.3. It's probably going to be lower than that, I would imagine. Let's see here. Clementine Goza from Two Roads. Ale brewed with clementine. So I said some kind of citrus. I said lemon. It's clementine. I'm getting, like I said, citrus vibes. I wouldn't necessarily say orange or clementine. 4.8%. So I was off by 1.5%. I'll tell you what. The actual body on this is bigger than 4.8%. Yeah, it's just like straight up medium body. Now pouring in the end, you can see where the clementine goes from. Two Roads is driving down the road less traveled with this clementine Goza. We kettle sour the sale in our own tanker truck trailer, a former milk taker like the one on the front of the label that's parked right in the grounds of our brewery. This beer is a classic Goza with a modern twist. We source and blend fresh clementine from a local craft juicery. The result is a tart juicy ale with a hint of salt and distinctive tang of refreshing clementine. I'm okay with how I did, but I wish I would have nailed the ABV a little bit better. But I'll tell you right now, the actual body of this one drinks like a 6% beer to me. It's not thin, it's not watery. It has some kind of substance to it. Now that I'm drinking more and I'm reading, Clementine Goza, I get it. But it still comes off as like more of a lemon sourness to me, or lemon tartness. So I said 6.3, it's 4.8. I was off by a decent margin. Kind of missed on that. I didn't say Goza, I said sour ale. I'm not getting a salinity. There is really no salt character to my palate. No, I mean, I'm not getting the salt. The clementine for me, mistaken it for lemon, but I did say some kind of citrus. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, not super happy with how I did, but I'm not also disappointed. I think I did all right. So Price point availability, I know Two Roads gets distro all over the place. I believe I've seen this one locally here in Western New York, so that's probably the case. And if this comes in 4-packs, I'd imagine 4-packs of this probably run like 10 to 12 bucks, probably pretty standard. But yeah, 3.85 out of 5. It's a solid, well-made, good beer. I wish the Clementine was a bit more, you know, I would say, I don't want it to be like overwhelming, but a little bit more oomph and punch to the Clementine I think would make for a better beer for me. But as is, it's an easy summer crusher. I would have no problem throwing back a couple of these, especially at 4.8%. Like I said, I'll say it one more time. 6.3% is the reason I guessed, or the body's the reason I guessed 6.3%, because this has a good body. It really does. And it doesn't make, like so many of these sub 5% sours, sometimes they drink with such a watery consistency to the body. This one does not. So if you're looking for something that has a little bit more oomph to the body, check this one out, especially if you like Clementines. I don't know. Yeah, man. Whatever. I'm done. Thanks again to Kyle for hooking me up with this one. Thanks to everybody stopping by another Whodunit beer review. I have, I believe, 4 more. I have one from a fellow, not a fellow BeerTuber, a good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Todd, and then I have 3 more from another viewer of the channel, Caleb. So we're going to continue on with these Whodunits for the next couple weeks. Be on the lookout for more, and until then, cheers.